Good evening, morning, afternoon, freaks and geeks. This is Reluge, and you may have noticed I haven't uploaded in a bit. That's because for the past few days, my whole attention has been focused on the AI game that you witnessed me start. Uh, Now, before you go into the comments, let me explain a bit. So, when I loaded up the game AI generation app, I wasn't expecting much from it. And as you could see, there was issues. Um Now normally it's like the way I described the game, if I had described it to a human, they would have gathered what I was saying and made actual levels. I found out what was going on was that it gave me a short level and then like infinite amount of boss rush. It just kept throwing boss at me like constantly, increasing the health slightly every time. So I had a little chat with the computer, and over the past few days, I've been ironing it out, like sanding the edges, and now the game looks like this. It was so frustrating, and it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. It's a playable game. It's a full game. It has 9 levels, and it's full with characters I created. And yes, I do mean I created them. The bugs you saw flying through the screen, the player ship, I made them all. And this game did allow me to upload my own PNGs. And that just made the whole thing more coercive. That's not the word I'm looking for, I don't think. But I do love the outcome. So I do kind of want to share the characters that I developed for the game. And if that's something you don't really care about, I'm going to try to do a chapter thing so you can skip to my final thoughts on the whole process. Alright, so this is the player ship. It's a bird. I figured it's going to be the space flockdation instead of foundation, or fun, or yeah, I think. I gotta write it down, but flock is in the name. Uh so this is the main character. And yeah, I did decide to give the player a kind of like a blue color scheme. This is just the normal blast. And then when it gets upgraded, here's the big blast. Just figured showing that off. Now, of course, since this is like a space shooter, there would be power-ups. To get the bigger blast, you would have to find the weapon power-up. It alternates between a spread shot and the bigger blasts, with the final power-up being a spread shot of the bigger blasts. This is the laser upgrade. It gives your ship 2 laser blasts that can go through the enemies. You'll even go through the bits that are indestructible. That I decided this is only going to have one upgrade, like one tier until it gets to max, because you don't. There isn't really much more I can do other than just adding more blasts. So I figured, why not? Now this is the rocket upgrade. Yes, it's a rocket. Mine out of the gutter. There was nothing I could do. So it's supposed to be like an arrow, but as a rocket. That's why it's got like little feathers as the little fins on the rocket. I tried my best. But these would home in on targets, and they do a little bit more damage than the normal blast. Also, it maxes out at 3 with 1 rocket per level. So this is the bomb upgrade. As you can tell, it's an egg. This, instead of aiming at the ships, it will destroy the debris that's flying through the screen, because the debris is invincible. So the bombs will take those out. And only those. And so, of course, I gotta have drones. So this is the drone power-up. I'll have a little ship sitting next to you, and it'll shoot with you. So it's like an extra shot, and it'll widen your aim, your range, your spread. I brain broken, fizzle out. So there'll be a max of 4 of these, 2 on each side. And the game did the little it's almost like a little string connecting them to the ship, and I was like, that's kind of cute. I like that. This is the shrinking power-up. Now, I'm a little disappointed on the screen. It doesn't really show, like, it's not obvious what's going on in the picture. But it does have the, still has, like, the green aura around it. So, and once you pick it up, it'll say shrinking initiated, and it'll shrink you down a size. I think I either made the max on that 4 or 5, but it speeds you up a little bit, and it shrinks your plane, so you can dodge things easier. And, of course, you need a shield. Now, in this game, you have 3 slots for upgrades. So the first 3 that you pick up will be the upgrades you get. Now, the thing is, with the shield, if you pick it up with an empty slot, it'll put this shield in front of your ship. And of course, it's like provides like protection from 1 hit. However, if you have it in your expansion slot, you can build up on the shields. But if you're full on the upgrades, any other upgrade you pick up will heal you. Even when, like, say your missiles are maxed out and you pick up a missile upgrade, it will heal you. I find that to be kind of very useful in the game, mainly because you're like later on in the levels where they're throwing a whole bunch of different like enemies at you, and the blast bit, like the game becomes a bullet hell. And you're like maxed out on everything. You just the upgrades will just drop and you pick them up and get health. And then the shield also comes in useful in that too. So I kind of like that addition to the game. However, if you need a quick fix to like go to the max health, I do have a full heal drop. Of course, doesn't take any upgrade slots. It's just health. Also, another power up that would be very useful is the invincibility. For like a few seconds, you will become invincible, and anything you fly through will get destroyed. Well, except for the bosses. And last but not least is the space mines. Again, these aren't power-ups, they're drops. Occasionally, like, you kill an enemy, a mine will drop, and then they'll, like, sit there for a couple milliseconds and then explode, doing damage in a more, like, area, in a larger area than what you normally can cover. But, this will also damage you as well. And now for the enemies. You may have noticed that the enemies are more of a bug theme. I kind of like that aesthetic in these kind of shooters a lot. I do know a lot has been doing, like, bugs, and it's a cliche at this point, but I figured that would be a really good, like, swarming enemy to be fighting against a bird ship. So this is the dash fly. They're the kind that just flies down the screen in a pattern. Later levels, there'll be like 4 or 5 in a row. And all they do is just fly down the screen. Easily avoidable, but also they have very little health. So it's like these guys can drop the upgrades pretty frequently. Now, you'll see this guy a lot. It's the shooter bug. Or the spitter bug, I mean. This flies around, and they actually do try to shoot you. So, this is like, the most intelligent unit you'll find early on. The munch bug. They work almost similar to the dash bug, except they fly around in sporadic movements, and they have a little bit more health. And they also stay on the screen a little bit longer than the dash bugs. They try to munch you. This is the rocket spider. They show up later, and they sit there, they're stationary, and they just shoot rockets at you. Like the homing missile rockets. I tried to have like little tiny legs. I think later I might go in and make them brown, because they do blend in with the background quite a bit. This Cubert looking thing is the laser bug. They shoot lasers. But they also just sit there. But the lasers are fast-moving blasts. And yeah, they have a little bit more health than usual. I think I told it to have the same health as the munch bugs. But it's like they show up with the cannon spiders, and they'll be like on the screen, and instead of just like moving forward, they will sit there and constantly shoot. I know the laser bugs are easy to dodge, because they're just sitting there shooting downwards, and the rocket spiders are sitting there shooting a homing rocket. However, if you wind up underneath them, you can be quickly hit by a laser beam. And then the Mega Bug. These guys show up on the last level. They have the most health, they deal the most damage, and they shoot 4 blasts in a spread. They do move, but very slowly. Now, each level has a planet theme. What I wasn't expecting through the AI generator was that it actually labeled each level with kind of like a elemental thing going on. Like the first level was Rust. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play off that because that's interesting. Like, the first level is a rusted metal planet. And this is like the debris that flies through the sky, or the space, that you have to avoid. With this one, I purposely did make them small so they're easy to avoid. And it's like early in the game, you'll learn quick that you can't destroy them with your normal blasts. So it's like very purposely easily to avoid. But the trade-up is that I don't have the details because it's like really tiny. Unless I can get it on like a bigger screen. But this is one of the reasons why I decided to like show off the pictures. And I'm very proud of what I've done. So the bosses of each level is a planet. Now, this one has a shell. Currently, for some reason, when you shoot the planet, like when you do damage to the shell, the shell's supposed to have its own health. So it's like you shoot that until it goes away, and then you can hit the core. Doesn't work that way. The damage does the shell is doing it to the boss health as well. So when you break away the shell, this is the core of the planet. Now, each planet does shoot blasts at you. I know it's weird that planets shoot things, but I figured it's like the planets are kind of living. So it's like the insects are pretty much the inhabitants of the planets. So it's like they all would be like having the same kind of like spit power. And so the second level is the acid planet. I wonder why the first planet is rusted. So this is a little acid cloud that flies through the screen. And then this is the planet. The thing with this one, because I had to ask it to give each planet a unique weakness. So the first one was a shell. This one, the weakness is on the sides. So I was like, majority of the planet is covered with an acid cloud that is impenetrable. But you can hit the little cores that are sticking out the sides. I like the idea. The third planet is the frost planet. So the debris, obvious, they're going to be icicles. Do feel free to criticize my artwork in the comment section down below. I'll accept it, especially if you have suggestions on how to improve things. I will try to do your suggestions. But this is the Frost Planet. Now, what happens with this is that the planet, it does sit there, but then it becomes invisible, and you can't touch it. And it appears on another part of the screen. I tried to have like a cool like fading effect, and then it fades back into another place, but it messed up the battle. So, another reason why I'd rather a human working on this, because that's a simple process, I imagine. And I just couldn't get it to work through AI. Bet a human would be like, oh, okay, so yeah, the planet fades, moves, and then fades back in, and you can't touch it while it's invisible. Gotcha. I'm pretty sure it's been done before. Several times. Especially on devices. So, the fourth level is the solar planet. Now, it had said solar flares. I tried to imitate, like, the bit that comes off the sun as the debris, like, going through the space. I don't know how well that's being portrayed. That's why I need more eyes on this. I kind of like it, but, you know. And then This is the solar planet. With this planet, the original planet boss that they had, it was like just a circle, and that, as you saw, like in the this is what it looked like. They used easy, like common geometry shapes. So the thing with this, they had like a circle with two red like triangles indicating the weak spot. So I figured it's like the crust would be the spot that like blocks the blasts, and the where you see like the magma of the core showing is where the weak spots are. I think currently they have that mixed around. It was tough. I'm having difficulty telling it how to rotate it, so I figured doesn't matter. You're just shooting at it. You're not going to be like, he has the weak points at the magma. Or at the crust. That's not right. If you do, then yeah, that's valid criticism. But what I'm trying to say,
You've got mail.
no, is so it's like again, I could just point to the orange spots and be like, those are the weaknesses. The planet spins. Great, got it. But the AI, it was able to tell that this was supposed to be, I think they called it a sun core. But they were able to tell what I was trying to portray with the magma center part thing. So, but I couldn't tell it to have the orange spots be the weak points. And speak like robot, beep beep boop. Now, this is the Volt planet. This is my sad attempt at lightning. And what makes this sadder is that I actually pulled up a picture of a lightning bolt and traced over it. It looks somewhat decent in the game. But another issue, this planet also had a shell, but it's in thirds. I tried to upload a third of a shell and told it to replace all the like the spots where it's like the weakness where like the shell is with this sprite. It never could understand that whole thing was supposed to be covering up the weakness, or not the weakness, but the hitbox of each like third of the shell. Because when you hit the shell, it diminishes. But also, the program couldn't make it so that when like one bit diminishes, you can hit the core, and it's like it's spinning. But the thing is, when you hit the shell, the health also replenishes from the like boss full health. I still can't get the game to separate the two. And so, that's a huge mark against AI. But I eventually uploaded the full shell and tried it that way, and it still wouldn't cover up the whole thing. So here's the Volt core. And it looks really striking. It's like you see the metal part, and you shoot the metal, and it starts replenishing, and it will slowly reveal the planet's core. And when you completely destroy it, it'll have the planet sitting there, and it'll start shooting more stuff at you, and it's pulsating, and it looks awesome. Betcha someone can animate it even more awesome, though. Level 6 is the Prism planet. The debris is a little shard rainbow. Yay! I couldn't really figure out what to do with the theme of Prism. So it's like, this is pretty good. Unless someone that has a better understanding of what the prism is. Because it's like, when I hear the word prism, I imagine like the little like crystal sitting there, lights hitting it, and the rainbow is coming out of it. That's what I figure. If someone can come up with a better idea, I am all ears. This is the Prism planet. I figured it's like the sun would be going through that to create the little rainbow debris. I know it's janky. It's janky as hell. In fact, I thought I thought this was cleaner than it is. I'm going to be fully honest, because I know it's like a lot of the colors didn't come up to the... That's worse than I thought. But it's like, I knew the colors weren't going up to the edges. But I didn't know it was this sloppy. It looks like a kindergartner's attempt at trying to draw a octagon 3D shape. I can do better. I could definitely do better. But this planet has like 2 shields moving to block your blasts. That's the best I could think of. The white bits are supposed to be like light hits it and then goes through. I just noticed the bit in the back where the coloring overlaps, and of course this is a mess as well. I can clean that up. But yeah, I was kind of like strapped out on design ideas for the Prism theme. But again, if you have better ideas, definitely let me know. And I will do what I can to improve. I am really pleased with the magma planet. Yeah, I know it's like, wait, was it the solar magma? Solar was more of trying to imitate like the solar ray flares from the sun. This one's more of like lava on the earth. So that's why the debris is like a little molten rock with a little bit of the lava still peeking through. And this is the planet's core. Now, I do know it's like... I worked really long on the lava flow. But then I couldn't think of how to portray the planet having like ripples and crevices and whatnot. And it almost looks like facial hair now that I look at it. Ignore that. Let's go to the lava bit. Look at that lava bit. I love it. You can tell me that it sucks. What I'm not happy about, though, there's like 3 little satellites that rotate it that you have to destroy before you can attack the core. Which actually worked. Thing that I want to redo on this is the little doodad I have up here. I tried to make it look like a beacon of some form. Like, the idea is that each of the asteroids has like a little shield beacon. That's why you gotta destroy the asteroids or the satellites before you can destroy the core. It looks silly. I tried my hardest. The gray bit is supposed to be like kind of like a circular thing going down the rod. It looks silly. Looks like a little asteroid though, right? Now, the plasma was another one that was kind of difficult to do. I searched it up, and it was almost like a solar flare. But they also suggested doing magenta colors in it. I don't know what I'm doing with the plasma. Well, at least it looks like it's being launched at you, though, right? But this is the plasma core. This was another one that took me a long time to do. because I did it all on not Paint, but it's like a Photoshop adjacent program. Works pretty well. I'm also pleased with this one. Though this one also has a shield. But this one, the shield comes apart, exposes the core so you can hit it, but it shoots a lot of lasers at you and then closes. For some reason, it got this perfect. It has the full thing, splits in half, and then closes. I don't know how I could do that for the 3-section one. It's driving me bananas. So for the final level, it's the Void Planet. And I kind of like the idea of, like, the last area is the Void, because it's just like the boss. And this is the best I could come up with for the debris. It looks interesting spiraling at you. I kind of like it. And it is a little hard to see against the backdrop. So it's like, it's not obvious, but you can spot them. And I like that. So the final planet, because it's the Void, I decided to throw in a little bit of a black hole in it. Don't mind that. There's a reason why I made it look like it has, like, metallic glasses on. There's a reason. I couldn't get any effect. Like, when I was drawing this, I was thinking it could probably have, like, sucking your ship in slowly. But I couldn't do that. It didn't work. Pissed me off. But its special thing, it's got little claws beside it. That the claws are shooting, and he'll swipe you with them. Ow. And I really, really love how well that worked out. That's the whole rundown of the art that I made for the game. So, my final thoughts, it's a good start. Like, it's a good stepping stone. I got a simple game out that could have easily have been slop. I can just sit there, say, like, oh, make these games, and then not worry about, like, if it's solid or not. And just pump them out. I don't want to do that. I want to have a game that's rich in design. It has mystery behind it. And yeah, I have a simple message when you beat the game. I'm not telling you what that message is. You will have to play the game to find out. The only way you can play this is to play it through the app, I believe. It's Sekai. I will have a link in the description. If you're against doing the AI games, that's fine. I understand you don't need to, like, write a paragraph explaining to me how bad it is, because I understand, I know. I'd rather have a team making these games instead of an AA bot that's making me want to pull my hair out every time it doesn't get a simple thing correct. But this was a really, really good first step for a simple game. That's why I say simple, and I'm putting emphasis on that. I have been working on a Monster Tamer game for years. It's gone on to like a couple decades. I've got the whole, like, idea down, the gameplay, the structure. I even have 300 monsters all planned out and ready to go with the game. All I need is the game. I need people to help me make the game. So I figured I'll see how far it'll go in this AI game. The AI game generating map. I already ran into a brick wall.
You've got mail.
The game requires like a strategy turn-based gameplay for the battles, which requires me to make the maps. I did get it to give me a map making, like a very simple map making like option, but I can't save the maps for some reason. Every time it reloads, the map is a pre-designed map that the AI had made, and it doesn't function. So, do I refer this to people to go and make games? No. This is more of a fun little haha tee-hee thing. This is definitely a slop and like generator. I would love if I can actually get programs that would like start the script, like monster taming game in a turn-based style battle. Like strategy battle. And it would provide with the simple, like, scripts for it. And then you build onto that. I think that's as far as AI should go with making games. Being, like, the first, like, stepstone. Especially for people like me that don't know what I'm doing with the scripting. I spent my college time studying graphic design and animation. I can design characters like they're nothing. And I can give you a full lore backstory of them. And apparently I can create the 3D model, skin it, rig the bones, and animate it. Way quicker than people can, like, rig out a human torso, apparently. I'm not kidding. Portfolio class. I had done 7 out of the 12 spirits that I wanted to do for the class, like fully animated, fully textured. They all had like character, like emotion to them. And when I show people, they were just amazed. I even had someone tell me, it's like, you know that you're supposed to create the stuff in class, right? Like, during the class, I'm like, I did. I didn't get all the ones I wanted. But, the teacher counted it as a full, like, assignment, a full grade. Even though I was missing some. Because of the detail that I had put into it in such a short amount of time. And one of the people I looked up to because he was making realistic models. Like, Blizzard or Bungie would, like, look at him and be like, you're hired. But, he only was able to get a torso in, like, T-pose for the class. And I was a little shocked. I was like, so, was there something that prevented you from finishing this? And he's like, yeah, time. I was like, well, were you doing something else, like playing Skyrim or something like that instead? He was like, oh no, I put my full time in this. And people that haven't shown their stuff is like, yeah, that takes a lot of time to do. I'm looking around the room like, what? Now, granted, I wasn't making the detail like muscles on my guys, but everybody was still amazed that I was able to pump out 7 of them. I think it was 7. I have the fuller reel on my channel. I finished the ones that I didn't get to, like the fairies, and added them to the reel. So yeah. It's bedtime for me, but too long, I put you to sleep. I'd rather have a group of people working on games. I want to have like a small company. I wouldn't mind going through Game Grumps for this. Because they even said in one of their things a couple years ago, it's like, we have the money, but we don't have the creativity. Well, I have the creativity, but I don't have the money. So, I've been trying to get a hold of them. I've been trying to send them emails, messages. I don't know how to get their attention. So, maybe this could? But hit me up if you are interested in making video games. I don't want a like time like crunch. I don't want to do a thing where it's like pumping out a game each year, like COD of Duty. Or what Skylanders did. I think that's why Skylanders was got so exhausted. But and also I want to have a safe place where people don't have to worry if they're going to lose their job when the game is released, or being sexually harassed and having their job lost because they brought up the harassment. Safe place. People to make their stuff, work on games, and possibly even be able to work on their own
You've got mail.
IPs. Doesn't even have to be through the company. I would love to have that kind of structure of like a business. And also I want to be more focused on the joy of the game instead of thinking of how much money that it'll bring in. Like, if it doesn't bring in much money, but, like, enough to, like, pay everybody, I'd rather get everybody paid rather than becoming a millionaire. So hit me up if you really want to help me make this dream. I am going to make some more games on the app, but again, I'd rather have a human team working with me on this. So, let me know your thoughts, all of it. Be nice to each other. People can hate AI. People can love AI. AI is here. I wish we could figure out a way for it to not destroy the environment. And I don't think we should make any more centers until we figure out how to not destroy the environment. I'm going to have a full video about what I just mentioned there coming up. So if you'd like to see that, subscribe, click on whichever like button you think is appropriate, and until next time, I need sleep.